Hello my dear fellow foreign English speakers, it's Robbie here from EnglishHarmony.com and welcome back to my video blog. Now in this video I'm going to address a particular comment that I received 13 hours ago at this stage, right? And it's a very interesting comment and I just thought it's worth commenting on in a video especially dedicated to it. But before I get into the actual matter, let me just tell you guys that these days I'm extremely busy, right? And when I'm saying extremely busy, I'm not actually exaggerating. That is the actual fact of the matter. I have a number of students to teach, right? Well, teach wouldn't be the right word. I'd rather prefer the word coach, I suppose, or mentor into English fluency, right? And then on top of that, I'm gone for the entire day away. I have to go to Dublin to attend the college. So basically, between the college and coaching my students, I really have very little time to do anything else. So as you can imagine, whenever I have a chance to record a video like this, I would actually just store it on my hard drive, and then whenever the opportunity presents itself, I would upload it onto YouTube. So I can't actually guarantee any chronological video blogging, if you know what I mean. You know, some, well, not some, but I would say that most YouTube vloggers, you know, video bloggers, and hence the new abbreviation vlogger, right? Most vloggers would publish daily videos, keep cranking them out on a daily basis, and some people actually publish 2 or 3 videos a day. I can't really afford it. I don't have time for it, so you have to understand that. Sometimes these videos mightn't make much sense in that I might look like very much different from the previous video, which was just uploaded a week ago, but it's obvious that I look like much different. My hair would be longer or something like that, and that's only because I keep storing them and then I would publish them as I see fit, okay? But this time around I hope to record, edit and publish this video today because I want to get back to that person as soon as I possibly can. So, long story short, this guy is a former English primary school teacher, and he's just after quitting his job. And this particular grammar construct that I just used, he's just after doing something. I think it's peculiar to Irish English, but I just happen to live in Ireland, and I would know whether you guys would understand it or not. But then again, considering that you are intelligent enough, you would probably guess what it means, right? So basically, this guy just quit teaching English in a primary school, and what he says is, I'm going to shorten the entire comment, and I will take out a few F-bombs that he dropped because he's very emotional about it, right? And he says that language education around here, meaning Mexico, only beats around the bush. Basically, it's all concentrated on writing and writing and more writing and focusing so much on grammar, which actually prevents students from performing English in a more native-like fashion. And that's something that I totally and fully agree on, you know? Even in this day and age, this particular phenomenon can be actually observed pretty much in every country, you know? Whenever I speak with people, and believe me guys, when I say whenever I speak with people, I actually get to speak with people from all around the globe because I teach students starting from India and ending with America, you know? Coming from wide range of social backgrounds, professional backgrounds, national backgrounds, and I always, obviously, as you can imagine, if it's all about English fluency, we always talk about these issues because, like, everyone who gets tutored by me experiences those fluency issues, otherwise they wouldn't be coming to me for help, okay? And everyone agrees that the English teaching standards are terrible everywhere. It's all about grammar, writing, but whenever it comes to speaking, it's almost non-existent. So, back to Alejandro's comment. So he says that, yeah, hopefully this can be a proof which testifies how hard it is to change a traditional approach, which is only committed on fulfilling attendance lists. Yeah, totally agree. It's all about attending the class and grading with numbers. Assessment, yeah, what's more handy than assessing written assignments? Nothing beats that. And I would actually blame the industry. And as you can imagine, the industry actually consists of the individual units, which happen to be the teachers themselves. So I would say that, like, at a certain level, you actually have to blame the teachers themselves. I'm not saying that, Alejandro, that's your fault, but just think about it, right? if all teachers were to revolt against it, and everyone demanded that everything has to change and has to be more geared towards oral fluency, surely someone would listen to that. Okay, obviously it's a very extreme case scenario, and nobody would expect that something like that actually could happen in real life, that English teachers all around the world would start protesting one fine day. And I would say that it would have to be all language teachers, you know, not just English teachers. No matter what language you look at, everyone would have to put down their pens, figuratively speaking, and demand that the curricula be changed, and everything has to transition from constant writing and grammar cramming towards speaking most of the time, right? But that will never happen. But what I'm getting at is, like, it's only human. I'm not blaming teachers as such. All I'm saying is that it's only human for people to go for the easiest option. So if I were an English teacher myself and I had to weigh pros and cons of two different scenarios, one scenario being the existing one, whereby I can assess written assignments in comfort of my own home, do it in my own time, and get everything done the way I want it, or be faced with a hard challenge. And let's admit it, it would be hard to make the students speak, engage in conversations with them. And this actually highlights another issue. Many English teachers are not comfortable speaking themselves, right? I'm not blaming, just like I said, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying that, like, a tiny bit of responsibility has to be taken by individual teachers as well, because we have to possess enough intelligence to look into ourselves and realize that, yes, more often than not, we will do what appeals to our lazy human nature, right? And just like I said, if we have to assess oral speech, it has to be done right there and then, in real time. We have to be engaged in those conversations with those students and observe actively. We can't be just passively sitting at the desk, just tell the students to do their assignments and then we can just do something else, right? Catch up on something that we didn't get done in the previous lesson, whatever. I hope you get the drift, my friends, right? It'd be way more difficult for the actual teacher to do the job if the industry all of a sudden changed, right? So let's keep reading the comment. Yeah, so basically grading with numbers, which actually reflects nothing but major league bullshit. Well, yeah. And then Alejandro says, anyway, Rob, maybe you have some words which may help to stop the way traditional education scars still lingers my very intelligence and my very soul. So that person is really, really emotional about it. I think he's quite honestly pissed about the whole situation, and I totally agree. I totally agree with him, 110%. And if I were in his position, I would have probably quit working as a traditional teacher myself, because, like, in the position that I'm now in, I'm blessed with the ability to tell my students what works, and then we just do it. We don't beat around the grammar bullshit, we just speak. Speak, speak, and speak once more. That's what we do in my Fluency Star coaching program lessons with my students, in my chat sessions, basically. And yeah, so have I got any more words to say to Alejandro? Here's the deal, Alejandro. I believe that the industry will never change. It will never change for the number of reasons. Reason one being that, just like I said, it's human nature to go with the easy option, right? And it's only understandable that the academic environment facilitates the written assignment type studying, you know? And it would be very, very challenging for the teachers to change their way, you know? And the change would have to happen from within, you know? You can't expect that some high-sitting academic all of a sudden would initiate that change, because I think those gray, I imagine academics as some gray old man sitting somewhere in some academy on a high seat, right? Like, it's hard to imagine that those people would all of a sudden change, because they can't see outside the box. They're so deeply ingrained within the entire academic mindset that they will never see the what's the expression, never see the wood for the trees, you know, meaning they will not see the bigger picture, basically. They can't look at it from perspective because they're within the system themselves. They've been there their entire lives. So the change would have to be initiated from within. It would have to start from the more open-minded teachers, the new teachers. And having said this, I have to admit that I would imagine not all teachers are like that. I've had a good few people contacting me, and I've had email exchange with English teachers who are quite open-minded and try to facilitate the more oral approach in their classrooms, right? This kind of thing is happening. So I would imagine a slight change is taking place somewhere. But by and large, it's just not happening. So that was the reason number one, right? The change would have to happen from within, but each individual teacher is not really motivated to do it because people get complacent and comfortable in their seats, right? And it's just human nature, just like I said, and you can't really blame people for that. That's just the way things are. It is what it is. You know, there's an English phrase like that to describe a situation where you can't really change anything. You just have to accept it for what it is. And the second reason being the entire academic, what's the word for it, mindset, or the way studies are structured all over the world is wrong. Not just English teaching. It's about any subject, you know. Things we learn at school and things we need in real life, more often than not, differ widely, you know. It's very prominent in practical disciplines such as English learning, right, whereby you just learn the grammar and all that kind of stuff, and then in real life you can't speak. But just think about some other subjects. Say, let me just see, like, I don't know, history, for instance. You learn so much stuff and then it's all gone out the window a couple of years down the line. The entire academic teaching and education system is geared towards tests and exams and evaluations. So you are moved from one class to another, and then eventually you graduate from the institution, and then you graduate with flying colors, get your diploma, and then you assume that that sets you up for life. But if you think about it, if you analyze the knowledge that you have acquired, most of the stuff has just gone out the window. So I would imagine there's like millions of different things that you could do to make the whole education experience way more pleasant for the students, less boring, because most people actually perceive studies, going to school or going to university, as a drag. That's the way it is, you know. And it's all based on, I forgot which century system it was, whether it was conceived in the 17th or the 18th century or something, but I watched a really good video on YouTube where a guy explains that the modern education system is based on a, yeah, just like I said, 16th or 17th century idea about the education system being the same as a manufacturing process. So basically pupils, students are grouped into batches where the common denominator is an age, right? Even though in reality it says very little, you know. Like not all 13-year-olds are the same. People should be probably grouped by their interests, their abilities. Find different common denominators to make the whole thing more efficient. But basically it's all nothing but stamping, putting stamps on different batches of products. So the student group is perceived to be a product, and then we just try to put numbers on them, you know. And we think that it's a grand system, but in reality it's all rotten from within, you know. It kind of works. It kind of works. So we don't really, if you look at it, it seems to be fulfilling its purpose, you know. But in reality, issues such as English teaching highlight the deficiencies of this whole process called education. Anyway, I hope that, Alejandro, my words will give you some comfort. And yeah, let me know what you think about it. And everyone else, you are welcome to chime in with your comments and then your opinions, right? So thanks for watching the video, my friends, and chat you soon. Bye-bye.